Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, or whatever time it is, wherever you are. Welcome to Beachwalk Blog. And today I want to talk a little bit about aerobic training and getting fitter. Now I want to throw a word in here right from the start, and this word is capacity. Capacity. It's your capacity to do work. Because running is work, right? Whatever it is that you're doing, whether you're walking or running, it's work. It's a workload, it's a capacity, okay? Now, I want you to think of, this is going to be a really quick one. I want you to think about the circuits in your house. If you plug something into the circuit that overloads the circuit breaker blows, or the circuit breaker trips, right? That's the same thing as what happens to you when you go anaerobic. You go too hard. When you increase your work capacity, you increase your work demand, but you don't have the capacity to produce that workload. You blow a fuse, or you trip a fuse. That's when you come to a grinding halt and you can't run anymore. You have to stop. You have to flick the switch again to reconnect the circuit after it's tripped, and then you can go again aerobically until you go anaerobic and the circuit trips again. You're overloading the circuit. Now, if you continue to overload the circuit, whatever it is that you're trying to run doesn't run. I used the right word there, run. Whatever electrical device it is that you're trying to use won't work. And it's the same thing with your body. If you keep going anaerobically in order to get better aerobically, you're tripping the circuit. You're not allowing the circuit to run long enough to cook your food. Let's just say it's a microwave. You're trying to cook your food and it doesn't cook because you keep tripping the circuit. So when you trip the circuit, you're no longer producing power, you're no longer producing the running action, so you have to stop. So let's say that every time you go out and run, you want to cook a meal inside of you. You're trying to cook a meal, and every time you run, you go too hard and you break the switch, you blow the circuit trips, so the food doesn't get cooked. And saying that the food doesn't get cooked is a metaphor for saying that you don't increase your fitness, you don't improve your fitness, because cooking the food is the metaphor for increasing your fitness, getting the result that you want, right? So if you are continually going out there and you're continually tripping the circuit, you're not cooking your food, you're not getting fitter aerobically. So what do you need to do? Well, you need to back off into your aerobic zone, right? And then your circuit capacity will increase and you'll be able to run faster. You'll be able to run harder. You'll be able to run faster. Now, to put that in context of the metaphor that I've been using, you've increased the circuit capacity. You put a 20 amp breaker in there rather than a 15 amp breaker in there, and now you can run your microwave. But you can only run a certain power of microwave, because if you tried to run a faster, higher powered microwave that would cook your food quicker, you'd need a bigger circuit, and you don't have a big enough circuit yet. So you need to continue cooking your food at the lower level to allow you to increase the size of your circuit power, the power of that circuit. And as you get fitter, the circuit increases in its capacity. There's that word capacity again. And you adapt to the forces and the stresses and strains of running, and your circuit increases in size, and therefore you can run faster aerobically. And you need to continue doing that, because being an endurance athlete is a game of patience. It's a total game of patience. It takes time. Now, people say, oh, you have to run faster to run faster. Well, yeah, of course you do, but not all the time. Now, most people, one of the reasons, or two of the reasons why they're not getting the results they want, they're either going too fast or they're going too slow. They're either not working at the right level for their capacity, or they're trying to work too hard and blowing their fuse, blowing the breaker, right? So you have to figure out what your capacity is, and there's quite an easy way of doing that. Go and run a 5k a few times over the course of a few weeks and find out what your capacity is, right? And then that's going to give you a value. It's going to say, right, Paul can run 5k in this amount of time. That's my capacity. And if I try and run it at a pace that's a minute faster or 2 minutes faster, I'm going to blow my fuse. I'm not going to complete my 5k. So all you're doing is you're just testing out your capacity, your working capacity. That's all you're doing. And it's just a few quick tests, right? You go out and run a 5k, you have some data. You go out and run a 10k, you now have more data, right? You're just gathering data. But it takes honesty. It takes for you to check your ego at the door of your house, door of your car, door of your locker, whatever it is, I don't care. But it requires you to check your ego and to be honest, because if you're trying to increase your capacity and you're working at the wrong level, like I said, you're just going to blow your fuse, you're going to blow the breaker, and you're not going to get the desired outcome. Now, if you're an endurance runner, you don't really need to be running much faster than your 5k pace, that is, because as we know, if you're training your endurance capacity, you're going to increase your capacity of your endurance system, of your aerobic system, because you're looking at things not just on a muscular level, because like I've said so many times, you can already run faster, you just can't maintain it for long enough. I can run faster than my 5k pace, I can run faster than my 3k pace, my 2k pace, my 1k pace, my half kilometer pace. I can run faster than my 200 meter pace. I can run my 100 meter pace, or even my 60 meter pace, or even my 30 meter pace. So I can run faster, but I can't maintain it. That's why it's my pace, my output, my capacity for a given time. Now, if you're training smart, what you're going to do is you're going to understand this, and you're going to say, yeah, I see what you're saying. So when I go out and run, what I need to do is I need to understand time versus intensity, so that when I say I'm going to go and run for 2 hours, I can understand that the speed I can run at for 2 hours is going to be a lot slower than the speed I can run at for 1 hour, or 45 minutes, or 30 minutes, or 20 minutes, or 10, or 5, or 2. And these levels have specific value. They have value internally, because the chemical system that your body is works specifically at those levels. It works to a maximal output level, and that output creates a training effect. And there is no amount that I can give you. I can't just say to you, okay, Paul, go out and run 3 1k reps at this speed and you will get the absolute best adaptation. Because you might not. It might take 4 reps. It might take 5. It might take 6 or 7. Right? That sets and reps is it's just a number. What your body responds to is fatigue. It's the right intensity level at the right time value to give you the fatigue that you want. Okay? So just think about that capacity, the capacity of your circuit. Now, what have I been doing this whole time? I've been walking. So, and you can hear my breathing because I'm going uphill. I'm working harder going up this hill than I was walking on the beach. I increased my output. What's my heart rate? My heart rate is 88. Now I'd have to be going for a good number of hours at this level in order to increase my fitness or to get any kind of a training stimulus. So is this valuable to me? Yeah, it is, because I'm working my muscles, specifically in my gait cycle, but I'm not working particularly hard, so I'm probably not getting any training effect, or say probably, I'm definitely not getting any training effect. But this is good for recovery, because I'm working at a very low intensity. Yesterday was quite hard work, so today is an easy day, and I will be doing something later on, but it will be short sprint based work. So again, my effort is going to be super high, but my time is going to be extremely low. Right, so I'll do a high intensity, and it will be a few minutes worth of work. It won't be a lot of work. It'll be a few minutes of work, like 7 or 8 minutes worth of work. It'll be super high intensity. And some of you will think, well, 7 or 8 minutes worth of work, that's nothing. Yeah, it's nothing as far as time, but it has a huge value as far as intensity goes. And remember, if you're an endurance athlete, your goal is to complete a session to get the maximum benefit without the negative impacts on the rest of your training week. So yeah, I might be able to do more time at that intensity, but it will then start to negatively impact the rest of my training week, and that's not the goal, right? I want to have a positive impact, not just on that session, but on all the other sessions that are coming in this week. And that's really important, because yeah, I could go and smash myself to bits, and that's what I see a lot on the socials is, yeah, I did this super high intensity HIIT session and then my legs were dead and I could barely move the next day. Well, that's crap, isn't it? Right? Be honest, that's crap, because that's not training. That's, again, we're going back to the exercise thing. Yeah, we could all do that, but we're not going to be very effective for the rest of the week. And that again goes back to what the Beach Walk blog was about last time, which was about training like the pros. They're not doing these squats and these planks in order to fatigue themselves. They're doing them just because it's a very, very small pie. It's the cherry on the cherry on the cherry on the cherry of their cake. It's of such little value to them, right? And it doesn't fatigue them. Okay, they might do it, but it won't fatigue them. They're not going to the gym and smashing out leg day, mate. You know, they're not doing that. They're not doing that, because if they did, they wouldn't be able to put in 120 to 150 miles a week. And again, this is one of the reasons why your body breaks every time you try and increase your mileage, because you're not training specifically. Okay? And there we go. Increase your capacity at an aerobic level. Have a great day. Bye-bye.